You're welcome to this lesson. Today, you are going to learn how to answer WAEC questions on synonyms and antonyms, which are forms of analogies. I am Rumeso Adeyemo with the brand name English with RMG. And this video is proudly brought to you by IOTA Virtual Learning Platform. In this video, you are going to learn all you need to know for you to excel in your WAEC for your synonyms and antonyms question so that you can get the best result for your WAEC examination. So, are you ready to learn with me today? Get your writing materials and let's begin. However, I would like you to note that this is the second part of this video that I made on analogy. In the first part, I explained in detail what analogy is and its relationship with synonyms and antonyms. In the first part as well, I solved lots of questions, or we solved a lot of questions together on antonyms. So if you are yet to watch that, I'm going to drop the link in the description below. Kindly go there to watch that before you come here to continue, or you could watch this first because this is majorly lots of past questions on synonyms. Then you can watch that later. So are you ready to continue? So this is the first question on synonym. We have question 1 from section 4 WAEC 2018, and the question reads, "He was such a brilliant footballer." So our underlined word is what? A brilliant. So we want to look for an analogy, a synonymous analogy to what? Brilliant. Such that if I have two brothers and these two brothers are brilliant at what they do, I can say that he is to brilliant just as his brother is to what? So which other word can I use to say that he's just as brilliant as his what? His brother, in order for me to make my analogy correctly. Do you understand? So in simpler terms, just another word that could exactly fit into this context. Not just a synonyms of brilliant, but that can fit into this context. So we have A, inspired, B, intelligent, C, a dazzling, D, skillful. So when we say inspired does not mean the same thing as brilliant. Do you understand? When you're inspiring, we could say that you have some kind of influence on others. So intelligence is quite close, but we have the question, the instruction is for us to look out for the nearest, not just the near. Do you understand? So we need to check all our options. C, dazzling. D, skillful. So for the context of being a footballer, I would say skillful is the most suitable rather, because when you are good at something, it means that you are skillful at that thing. Do you understand? Especially when we are talking about a kind of skill like football here in this context. Do you understand? So don't get carried away and think that, oh, because people often use brilliant and intelligent interchangeably ordinarily, then you think your answer is intelligent. No. Look beyond the individual words, consider the context as well, because that is what the option asks us to do. Not just nearest in meaning, but also can replace the word in the context it has been used. And that is why I have discussed analogy earlier. So our answer is what? A, skillful. That is, instead of saying he was such a brilliant footballer, you can as well say that he was such a skillful footballer. That is, he's very good at playing the football game. So let's move on to the next question, which is question 35 from section 4, WAEC 2018. And it reads, "That was a timely intervention." So what does it mean for something to be timely? We say a timely. Let's look at the option. We have A, suitable, B, accurate, C, prompt, D, major. So when something is suitable, it does not mean that it is timely. Accurate is close, but we cannot say that if we say that was an accurate intervention, it does not mean that it is timely. We are just saying that it's probably fit, do you understand, into whatever situation that was at hand. We are not saying that it happened at the right time. When we say something is timely, that means we are saying it happened at the right time. And that is what prompt means. Do you understand? Major is not also an option that is close to what our answer would be. Do you understand? So that's why our answer is what prompt. So instead of saying that was a timely intervention, I can as well say that was a prompt intervention. Do you understand? I know that there's usually two options that are usually tricky, but if you try to contextualize it and try to think about it in form of an analogy, then you will get your correct answer. So our next question is question 36 from section 4, 2021. So we have, he became really disheartened when he heard the news. So what does it mean to be disheartened? It means, let's look at the context. When he heard the news, okay, we don't know whether it is a good news or a bad news. But when something is disheartening, it means that it is bad, like something bad has happened. You know how the body will react, how someone will react when the person learns about a bad news. So, A, defamed. Defame means to probably tarnish someone's image. Do you understand? So, disabled means to be unkempt. Depressed, it's probably something that will happen to someone when you learned about a bad news. The same thing for disturbed. You could feel disturbed when you heard about a particular news that is not too good. However, which one is best? Which one suits best? Disheartened. Disturbed is close, but the most suitable word is what? Depressed. Do you understand? Because when something is when someone is disheartened, it means that the person is low spirited. The person is sad. Do you understand? The person is down emotionally because of one thing or the other that has happened, just as learning about a bad news. So the apt word in this context is what? Depressed. I hope you understand how I'm able to get my answer and I'm able to delete the option that wants to look like the correct answer but is not the correct answer. Do you understand? So our answer is what? C, depressed. Please, if anything is unclear to you, you can let me know in the comment section and I will be glad to give you more clarity. So let's move on to the next question, question 40 from section 4, WAEC 2021. So we have, a good student should be inquisitive. Okay, so before I go to the question here, I want you to note something. In the previous video I made on antonyms, there was actually a question that also has inquisitive as our major word that we need to look out for the antonym. So one of the problems that students usually have with answering questions on synonyms and antonyms is when they don't even know the meaning of the word to begin with. It is not all the time that the context will be able to give you enough clue for you to get your words, your meanings correctly. Do you understand? So sometimes you just need to read wide and practice lots of past questions. So imagine you already practice with a particular past question on inquisitive and you have it in another context, because you've come across the word before, you've learnt about it, you probably checked up the meaning in the dictionary, you probably discussed it with your friend, you'd have been familiar with it and it will be easier for you to pick your correct answer. Because if you don't know the meaning of the word, you can't even make good analogy with it. Do you understand? Not until you understand the meaning of the word, you can make good analogy with it. So to be inquisitive means to be curious, to want to know more, to ask questions about something. Do you understand? So we have A, hardworking, B, busy, C, curious, D, studious. So our answer is what I even already said it because while I was explaining, I said to be inquisitive means to be what? Curious, someone who wants to know more, someone who would ask questions about things. Do you understand? So our answer will be what? Because we are looking out for nearest in meaning. So of course, our answer will be curious, not hardworking. To be inquisitive does not mean that you are busy. To be inquisitive does not also mean that you are studious. Do you understand? So it just doesn't mean that you are curious. That's the correct answer, which is what? C. I hope you understand it. If you understand it, say yes. Tell me in the comment section. Let me know that you are really following and you are really enjoying this lesson. So let's move on to the next question, which is question 36 from section 4, WAEC 2020. So we have, the boy was reluctant to carry out the order of his senior. So what does it mean to be reluctant? To be reluctant means that you don't want to do that thing. Do you understand? Sometimes maybe your senior at home probably or at school, whatever, ask you to do something and you don't want to do it. Probably you feel like you shouldn't be sent on such errand. Do you understand? So it could be said that you are reluctant to do it. So we have options: A, adamant; B, slow; C, sluggish; D, unwilling. So you might want to think that the answer is sluggish, but when you are sluggish at something, it means that you even started doing it. It's just that you are slow. Do you understand? Just like option B. When you are slow at doing something, you've started. It's just that you are slow. Do you understand? But when you are reluctant, it means that you don't even want to do it. It means that you are unwilling. Do you understand? It means that you are unwilling to do that thing. That is, you don't want to do it at all. So don't allow the some of the options that wants to appeal to you like the correct answer to steal your attention. Just try to put it into context. What is this context trying to say? And if I'm trying to make an analogy, can I replace this word with this option that I have taken? Do you understand? Just like I explained earlier before I started solving questions on it, as I explained, making analogies. So you need to ask yourself, can I replace this word with this word when I'm trying to make an analogy? If yes, then that is my answer. Do you understand? So our answer is what? Unwilling. D, unwilling. The boy, so you can as well say that the boy was unwilling to carry out the order of his senior. So let's move on to the next question, which is question 33 from section 4, WAEC 2020. So we have the march came to an abrupt end when the rain started. So even from the context, what is going to happen when when it started to rain while a match is going on? Obviously, it is going to end abruptly. I think the context has given us enough clue here. So we know that how to use it as an analogy in another context. So we have A, sharp. So are we going to say it came to a sharp end? B, brisk. C, quick. D, sudden. You might want to say it's a sharp end, but you know that sharp does not really work in that context. We don't use words like that in context. Do you understand? So you are going to say that the march came to a sudden end when the rain started. So our answer is what? D, sudden. That is, it had to end suddenly. Nobody planned for the rain, but it came suddenly, so we also have to what? Make a sudden decision. So let's move on to the next question. Question 35 from section 4, WAEC 2020. So we have Bimbo was satisfied with the result she got. So our word is what? Satisfied. So which other word can replace satisfied here? Or which other word can we use as an analogy by saying satisfied is to Bimbo as dash is to what? A sister. That is when we are saying that they both have the same qualities. Do you understand? So we have A, positive; B, surprised; D, contented; D, appeased. So to be positive about something does not mean that you are satisfied. In fact, you could be dissatisfied, but you just want to be positive that maybe something will change in the future. Do you understand? To be satisfied does not mean that you are surprised. To be satisfied does not mean that you are appeased. In fact, appeasing someone means that you've probably hurt the person and you're trying to mend things with the person. So the best word that fits into the context is what? Contented. That is, you are pleased. That's another word for it. You are pleased with the results, or you are satisfied, or you are contented with the results that she has got. So these three words, satisfied, contented, pleased, can be used interchangeably. And when we are trying to make a synonymous analogy, we can use them. So do you have any question? Please, if you do not hesitate to put it in the comment, as I'll be glad to answer your question. Thank you for joining this lesson, and I hope you enjoy coming to my lesson as much as I enjoy doing this with you. And I hope I'm making impact. If you have any question, any concerns, please do not hesitate to communicate it with me. I promise to always respond. So I've made lots of videos on different topics for your YSSA English. Do well to watch all of it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please share with your friends who are writing this exam as well. Let them benefit. I am Romeso Adeyemo with the brand name English with RMG, and this video is proudly sponsored by Iota Virtual Learning Platform.